The LA Angels may be one of the most frustrating franchises in the MLB, wasting the talent of two-way superstar Shohei Ohtani and arguably the best player of his generation in Mike Trout. This team has seemingly been haunted by the baseball gods through lack of playoff appearances, let alone playoff success, and loads of injuries and underperforming free agent acquisitions. Well, it's time for someone to come in and save this franchise, and today that someone's going to be me. Welcome YouTube, it's Fargo, and with the Major League Baseball opening weekend upon us, it's time for us to kick off a brand new franchise here on the channel in MLB The Show 25 with the Halos. The first lineup for the season did not include a lot of star power for the Angels. Mike Trout, obviously the solidified starter of this team, but this lineup boasts washed up players like Tim Anderson, journeymen like Kevin Newman, and hopeful but underwhelming prospect like Joe Adele. Our main goal in this series is to get Mike Trout a ring, and that journey starts now with opening day. The Halos will open up in the south side of Chicago, taking on the White Sox, and what might be the most underwhelming opening day game in recent history. Trout is projected to lead the team in all major hitting stats this year, so let's see if he can get off to a great start to kickstart this team. Top of the first for his first AB of the season, and he goes down swinging on a slurve away. Not the hot start we were looking for to begin this one. Home half of the first, we rolled out left-handed pitcher Yusei Kikuchi. The southpaw is the number one starter in this rotation. He was one of the Angels' multiple veteran pickups this offseason. He got a 3-year deal after pitching pretty well for the Astros down the stretch after an in-season trade. And the Angels are looking at he can rebound and hopefully pitch like his last All-Star appearance back in 2021. With one on and one out, Kikuchi gets Tauchman to hit a ground ball right to Rengifo, and the Angels turn two to get out of the inning unscathed. Jorge Soler led off in the second, and he was brought in to give Mike Trout some help behind him. Soler is known for hitting bombs, as he hit 21 last year and 34 the season before. He also had a 780 OPS. The veteran could be on the move again depending on his output in the Angels' position come trade deadline. His first AB of the season ended with a weak pop-up as he swung on the second pitch he saw on the at-bat. Trout was up in the fourth, and on a 1-1 count, he's going to hit a ball bouncer up the middle for his first hit of the season. Now, we mentioned Jorge Soler batting behind him for some protection in the lineup, and on a 3-2 count, Soler is going to hit a ground ball to second base, and the White Sox turn two, getting out of the inning. In the fifth inning, former White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson gets a little bloop single to left field for his first hit of the year, the veteran with a leadoff single. Catcher Logan O'Hoppe bat after him, and he's going to hit a ground ball up the middle. Once again, the White Sox are going to turn two, and the offensive catcher ends the inning and a potential rally. Logan O'Hoppe is a very talented offensive catcher, and the Angels are hoping he could break out after a decent start to his career. He hit 20 home runs last season with an OPS just over 7 at 712. The Angels are likely going to look to extend him fairly soon, likely when that horrible Rendon contract comes off of the books. Kikuchi ended up facing some trouble in the fifth. With 2 on but 2 outs, he gets Corey Lee to hit a lazy fly ball to Mike Trout to end the inning, keeping it at no score. Trout led off the seventh, and on a 2-2 count, he swings on the outside slider, King again. His swing is just not up to par. Soler was on after him, and he gets a ball that's hanging, and he's going to hit this one a long way. Big fly, Jorge Soler. Soler power is on early on in this season, and he gets the Angels on the board for the first time here with a 454 solo jack 1-0 Halos. Angels keep Kikuchi on in the seventh, and he ends up giving up a leadoff double to White Sox star Luis Robert, who's going to hit this one down the line, and he gets a stand-up double to lead off the inning. A few batters later now, Robert on third. Andrew Vaughn's going to hit a dribbler at second base. No play at home, so Anderson settles for the out at first, allowing Chicago to tie the game. Ben Joyce then came on in relief. He's a 6'5" right-hander who throws absolute gas on the mound. His fastball reaches triple digits consistently, and he's one of the young arms in this Angels organization that they're excited for. But with 1 on and 2 outs, he allows Colson Montgomery to get a hold of a triple-digit fastball, and he sends that one over the fence. 2-run home run by the Sox top prospect on opening day. Angels now down 3-1. It was Joe Adele up in the 8th, and he's going to go down swinging ahead of a breaking ball. Adele was once a highly touted prospect who has yet to put it all together at the bigs. He's got big power versus lefties, but struggles with Ks as we see here. Angels are hoping he breaks out because he's out of options, and ultimately this is now or never for him if he's going to be a major league player. In the ninth, Trout led off, but he ends up striking out again in this one, and the Sox end up closing out the Angels and winning 3-1 on opening day. Not a great showing by the offense as the Angels lose to the lowly White Sox. We hope things get better after this one, but safe to say it did not. Angels did win 5 games in a row during the week of April, sweeping Tampa Bay and taking 2 out of 3 against Houston. Felt like this team was ready to turn the corner, but they ended up losing 5 in a row during their 3rd week of the month, finishing at 12-17. They were 13-19 going into this series finale against Detroit. Zach Neto has struggled since returning from his injury. Mike Trout is on fire over the last 11 games, and the bullpen, much to my surprise, has actually been lights out over this past week. So the Angels are at home against this one, and young pitcher Jack Konkowitz gets the nod. He has not been great, but not necessarily awful this season. ERA over 4 and WHIP sitting at 1.38. But he did struggle early in this one as Gleyber Torres pushes a hit to right field. Mike Trout struggles with it. He can't make a play. The ball gets behind him, and the Tigers end up plating 2 off a conch early. Yoan Moncada has an opportunity to get some runs back for the Halos, but he grounds this one right at second base. The Tigers turn 2, limiting the Halos to 1 in their home half. Conch faced trouble in the 3rd as well. 2 in scoring position, he gets Colt Keith to fly out to Taylor Ward at left field, but Ward's throw was not close and the Tigers end up plating 1. Andy Ibanez was up next, and he slices this one to the other corner outfield to Mike Trout. Trout fields it, he fires home, but the throw is offline, and the Tigers plate their 2nd run of the inning. Left-hand pitcher Reed Detmers ended up coming on to relief. The former first-round pick started the year from the bullpen after losing out in spring training. He had a solid start to his career in 22 and even threw a no-hitter. However, the southpaw has struggled greatly over the last couple of years and had a rough spring, which ultimately led to him losing his spot in the rotation. The first batter he ended up facing ended up singling to right field right in front of Mike Trout. Trout's going to give it another effort throwing home, but the throw is offline once again, and the Tigers are now up 6-1. But the Angels don't go away. In the top of the 3rd, Taylor Ward leads off, and that ball is hit deep, long, and far, and that is a solo shot, big fly, Taylor Ward, 7th of the year. Zach Neto came up in the 6th. With 2 on and no out, he's going to single to right field, and that's going to plate a run, and the Angels are now down 6-3. On the very next pitch, Kevin Newman, he's going to poke this one to right field. This one's going to get down, and the Angels are going to plate another one, 6-4 now. That brings up youngster Kyra Paris. He gets in on the action. He's going to single up to center field, and the Angels are going to plate their 3rd run of the inning. Kyra Paris is a 23-year-old player who can play infield and outfield. He won his spot on the team in spring training. His bat still got a long way to go. Rengifo came up after him, and he ends up lining to first base, who ends up tagging out the runner. Double play, killing the rally right there. It was the 9th inning now. Trout is up and a home run away from walking this one off. He ends up facing Tyler Holton. He swings at the first pitch he sees, and that ends up being a lazy fly out to center field. Angels now down to their last out. Jorge Soler was up after Trout, last man up, and he ends up swinging and miss at a sinker ball in the dirt. Angels lose to the Tigers and end up at 13-20 at this point at the bottom of the division. Clearly, a lot of work needs to be done for this team, and they're definitely not good right now, and we might be looking to make some moves. So if you guys were excited for this one and looking forward to the action to come, please consider hitting that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.